Welcome to episode 25, the current backloggers. The date is August 6th. I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co-host, Cody G. Cody, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. We got new mics.
That's right. So let us know how it sounds. If it sounds better or worse, whatever.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. One of our friends and soon-to-be listeners, not before, I guess. But what have you been up to?
Just finishing up the basement, man. I'm putting, I don't know what it's called, sealer on the trim. It's kind of gunk.
Now that Ryan watches, he'll have a comment, tell you what that is.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, man, I just picked up some lumber to build some shelves. We're going to see how that goes. Got it all planned out.
Very nice.
Just working. 40 hours. 44 hours this week, actually.
Oh.
44.
That's all you've been up to, though?
Yep.
I gotcha. Been working as well. And then Friday we had my niece's second year birthday party. That was a weird way to phrase that.
I thought you were going to say anniversary.
But we had it at my parents' house and set up a pool and trampoline with a ton of balloons on it and a ton of fun stuff. It was a good time. And then my girlfriend's birthday was yesterday, so we've been doing stuff throughout the week. So kind of
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Kind of just a crazy birthday week for multiple people. But I haven't been up to much either. That's really it for me.
Cool.
So is this later in the show?
No, we can do it now.
Okay, okay, go for it. I'll let you take it away.
I'm getting quite concerned about aliens. Like, almost obsessing. Because I think they're definitely out there, and I think the government's getting us geared up for them to make an announcement. Because they slowly trickle out.
I think somebody's slowly trickling out to his podcast.
Slowly trickle out information of, 5 years ago, be like, dude, aliens aren't real. To where they're like, I don't know. But now to the point, they made an announcement saying, we have pieces of ships. We have no idea where they came from. They're not known. And the way they're acting is from another world. And Joe Rogan had a guy on that talks about the Soviet Union. They had a guy in the Soviet Union that his job was to listen to all soldiers' reports of UFOs. Well, all crazy shit going on, thinking like, oh, it's the Americans. And they had 4 planes shot down by UFOs, and 2 of them died. But they had a lot of reports that these UFOs would show up to nuclear sites and turn everything off. And you think, like, okay, that's... What I'm hoping is it's aliens being like, guys, stop it. Like, it's like kindergartners fighting. Like, they come over and just take away whatever they're fighting over, or, stop it. But then he brought up a point, they could be flexing on us. I'm serious. You're laughing, but I think they're coming to those sites. It would be like, so this is the way I'm thinking of it. We send back a Navy SEAL to the caveman times. Let's say we send him back to a tribe. This tribe, think they're the best tribe in the world.
So not the Cleveland Indians.
And they have a really good warrior. What's a caveman name? Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga is the best spear throwing. He kills shit all the time.
I think we all know that.
And the Navy SEAL walks up to Ooga Booga, shoots him right there in the leg, blows his knee guts everywhere, takes his spear, snaps it in half and throws it to the side and just stares him in the face. Being like, Ooga Booga ain't shit. Because I'm serious, I think that's what they're doing. They're going to nuclear silos, which is our Ooga Booga with a spear, and turning them off and being like, that's your best. We just turned it off in 2 seconds. So I think the government knows there's, with the fighter pilots coming out, good old Bobby over Area 51 finally talking, and information coming out about that. I don't think there's any way for them to contain it anymore. And I think things are getting kind of goofy on Earth, so aliens are going to have to come eventually and be like, whoa. Or, God forbid, the aliens are trying to flex some more. I don't know. That's the heavy thing I had to hit on. But yeah. That and my grandma was put into hospice today. I'm serious.
Good thing we
dude.
led with the most important one.
Yeah, clearly. She's doing okay. You think someone goes into hospice, they're like, got a week to live, but she's doing fine. Just she's not eating. But yeah, I went and visited her today. That was like going into prison. Holy shit, dude. The information they were kind of weirded out that we were from Franklin County because it's the capital of Corona. And she lives near kind of Canton. But they got our oxygen levels, all this information about us, our temperatures, and then they had AC blaring behind us, a unit. So my mom just scoots forward like this, scoots her chair forward maybe a few inches. She's like, "What are you saying?" And the nurses come running, like, 6 feet, 6 feet. And I felt like I was in prison. And I kind of got pissed off because I'm like, bro, my grandma just got put into hospice. And people in hospice is like, these people are knocking on death's door. Like I get they're trying to prevent it from spreading, but it's been weird. But it's sad, but also I'm kind of happy for her because she's the most religious person I've ever known ever. Crazy religious. So, and she talks about heaven like it's like just a crazy place, and she's ready. And I'm excited that she can go. God damn it, what am I talking about right now? It sounds so awful. But part of me is like, damn, I spent a lot of time with her. She's like my second mom, and I love her. But she had a stroke about a year ago. I'm glad you find this funny, Casey. And half of her body stopped working, Casey. Is that the punchline now? Are we laughing? So it's not been a good time for her, and she is she's the type of person that's gonna have a big old mansion in heaven because, man, she deserves it. She's most religious person ever met, all the way up to the end.
I like how you deflected this on me with everything you said.
Dude, I can't help the shit. It's not funny. You shouldn't be laughing about You shouldn't be laughing about this. Half of her body's not working. Is that funny? My grandma's dying and I can't even hug her, Casey. She's on hospice right now. They won't let me touch her. Is that funny?
No, sir.
So that's the two heavy things I hit you with.
Yeah. I'm glad you led with the truly heavy one.
Yeah, UFOs, brother.
We can focus on that so you don't get too depressed too much and you fall farther into your rabbit holes.
Dude, can I tell you something funny, though?
Yeah, sure.
My grandma, she's, at that age, the mind kind of wanders. It gets out there. we asked my grandma what we could bring her. Bring her. See, this shit's sad, but there's always like little funny moments that everybody can laugh about. Even my grandma thought it was funny. But so we're like, what can we bring you to the nursing home? And like food wise, like we're naming off stuff. She straight up just started asking for fresh produce, like tomatoes and let's see, tomatoes. Just off the wall shit. We're like, what the heck? She's like, watermelon. Is watermelon even in season right now? We just started laughing so hard I was crying. And my grandma started laughing really hard too because it's just how ridiculous it is. And it's supposed to sit out there for 4 days. Like grandma, fresh produce is not going to last that long. She's like, what about strawberries? So yeah, it's weird.
I bet.
It's about as weird as this podcast.
So
we're gonna bring her a head of lettuce in case you're wondering.
These UFOs. So these are aliens are inside these UFOs. You're saying then? Is this your theory?
Yeah, they're piloted.
Well, because UFOs, I'm sure you know, unidentified flying objects. So it could just be a missile. It could be anything. So it's not necessarily a ship. But
Yeah.
so that's what you're saying there.
Mm-hmm.
That these are the aliens. So
Yep.
um, so um, the reason I'm asking is I think I've told you I don't believe in aliens, but I'm also not somebody that
Really?
yeah. But I'm
Out of the
also
millions of worlds out there,
yeah.
we're it.
I think so, but I don't have a strong stand. I know usually one way you believe in aliens and everybody's an idiot if they don't, or there you have a hard, strong core stance against it, and there's no way they exist.
I was gonna say I feel like people that believe in aliens are get a little bit more shit than people that don't.
Really, because
I feel like people look at you like, what?
anytime I say I don't, I get a fucking strong reaction, and I get
Really?
that same thing that how many planets there are and how big the universe is and everything. And
Well, I think part of me is just that'd be just so awesome. Like I love sci-fi stuff, so it'd be cool to think there's aliens out there.
oh, me too, and I'm not against it, and that's why I said I don't have a strong stance either way. I just don't think there is. So if I ever saw anything that was enough evidence to me, I wouldn't deny it. To me, I don't think so. And I feel like there's so much room and planets and vastness just because it's a excuse for us to explore it. And what are you laughing at?
It's just how ridiculous I've already been on this podcast, and it's not even going for that long.
But I don't know. I feel like people think it's so weird that there is no way there's other life. But I think it's also weird that we all just agreed that aliens are a thing that exists for sure. And I think we maybe did that to give ourselves an excuse to explore and find more. But there definitely is possibility of other life. And even if there is, I feel like there's a good chance, even if it's life, it's not like we think and not even green aliens. I'm saying it might not even be recognizable as an alien, even if there's life. Like, people freak out, they figure out there's a plant on their fucking planet, so it'd be life, technically.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's something like that, but as far as like a living thing that like we think, I don't know if there is anything like that. But I could be wrong. That's why I'm surprised that you think they're actually like they're here and not just like they put something here or something fell or
I haven't always thought this way, but last few years it's kind of when the Pentagon comes out and says like the way these things are moving, and a fighter pilot that spent years saying like, bro, we ran into these tic tac objects that are bouncing around.
Now we know where your info's coming from.
And he's like, I can't catch up with them. You try to catch up with them, they fuck with you, they bounce around, and then you have Bob coming out of Air 51, and he's like, I worked on these ships that were not of this earth. And the Pentagon comes out like, listen, guys, we do have pieces of ships that don't match anything on this earth. And then a few months ago, them coming out saying, hey, we have footage of these UFOs, and we don't know what the hell they are. When the Pentagon starts saying stuff, that's where I'm like, oh, shit. Is this secret Chinese, like, ships? Like, does another country have this technology and we don't know it? But humans are idiots. Like, the first day we'd have it, Trump would be, like, driving it himself. Or Putin would be driving it himself.
You know, Air Force One.
Yeah. They'd be stunting around the world.
So, what do you think the aliens' goals are then, you said?
I think it's almost something similar to, like, so we'll tie this back to video games. Mass Effect, where it's the universe is, there's a few races out there, and they have, like, their own Congress or something. And once...
Is Jar Jar on it?
I hope not. I hope the human race dies out before we get to that point. But I think once a species reaches a certain level, then they'll, like, just like in Mass Effect, like, okay, come on. Welcome to the club. This is Bleep Bloop and Beep Beep. Humans. And that's what I think. And that they come to Earth. I don't know if it'd be like, oh my God, come look at these apes over here.
So they come here for war then?
No.
So
If
you're
they-
excited.
if-
You said you're excited, but if it's what most things portray, I don't think that'd be anything to be excited about.
If the technology that you see with what the Pentagon has released and what these experts have talked about, it wouldn't even be a war. It'd be like War of the Worlds. We're just running around like ants and they're just like stomping on us. So I don't think they mess with us, but I think at the same time they're almost like watching us. Like,
Oh, like that. What's his name? Lead singer Nickelback. What's his name?
I don't know.
But the song he made for Spider-Man. They're watching us.
Oh Jesus, I forgot all about that.
Why can I not remember? Oh, Chad Kroger. That's his name.
Chad Kroger.
And the lead singer of Saliva. They do that song together.
Good old Chad Walmart.
um,
But yeah, so I think they just watch us. And every once in a while they're like, shit, you guys see what Russia's been up to? They go over there and just turn things off.
You know, something I didn't think about till just now is the argument on the other side normally is that if you don't believe in it, you're a self-centered because you really think humanity is the only thing that exists. But I just realized that almost every time people talk about that, they bring it back to humanity. So if it's really not about us, then I feel like it's the same argument because why are these, if it's so vast and there's so many creatures and so broad, I don't know why the hell we're still the center of this alien universe.
I don't think we're the center. I think the universe could also be a zoo, and we're kind of like the reptile room, where it's like people are like, you've already looked at the cheetahs, you've already looked at the elephants, you've already looked at that, and like, shit, guys, before we hit up the gift shop, you want to go look at the reptile room? And then that's what the humans are. Oh, that's cool. Okay, on to the next thing.
Is this like the reptile room where they classify spiders as a reptile?
They do that, don't they?
Do.
They sneak them in there.
Yeah, that's sometimes you go in this place, sometimes it's a no-go. Okay. Well, I guess we'll
Yeah.
see, huh?
I don't know.
Maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. Maybe people listen to this podcast. But what the fuck's wrong with this guy? But yeah, if you guys are true fans of the podcast, make sure you send fresh produce to my grandma's nursing home. I can get you an address. Specifically tomatoes, strawberries. I don't know. She threw a bunch of fresh produce out there, but I lost it. It was just getting old's wild, man. Are you afraid of getting old?
Yeah, I think you're looking forward to, you said, though.
For her, because it's like your entire life and entire life has been preparing for this moment, and it's like she's on the cusp of going to heaven. I also still believe in God and aliens, because if God's making us, he's definitely making some aliens. You think God's like one and done?
I think he'll like Dave right now, and I don't approve.
No, he's. I think he's doing other stuff out there too. I feel like Riley Martin though. Right now, so.
I know a name. Who is that?
It's like the crazy guy Howard Stern I had on all the time for aliens. You're Howard Stern, I'm Riley Martin. But yeah, so that's the two things that's been on my mind.
Okay. I'm sure you saw that fucking crazy explosion everybody's talking about, right?
I did. I have a conspiracy behind that too if you want to get into it.
Go for it. I'll let you start.
So,
Conspiracy cast.
it's rumored that it was captured explosives. And if you look at the level of, was it ammonium nitrate? The stuff McVeigh used?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Basically shit.
Mm-hmm.
The pounds that they're saying is equal to a warhead. The same damage, or the same pounds of this ammonium nitrate would equal the same damage as this warhead. So I think Russia was trying to sneak weapons into Syria. Somehow it ended in Lebanon's hands. I think at some point someone was trying to sell it, and it blew up. Improperly stored, just blew up. But I think that shit was going somewhere shady. Like maybe Syria, because Russia's fighting that war and propping up Syria. And I don't think they're supposed to be taking that level of weaponry to Syria. So I think it was captured at some point and stored there. And it was stored in a part I don't know if it was captured or it was on its way to a destination, but it was stored somewhere where there was also fireworks. So clearly, this is an area of the dock for explosive materials. I've seen pictures of their safety standards of those docks were horrendous. And did you watch the explosion? That thing did not look like, oh, whoops, fireworks. Like a fireworks just blew up.
Yeah.
That looked like a bomb. The mushroom cloud.
No, definitely. I think it was confusing. I know a lot of people, like most things, were calling people idiots and judging for everything when they were saying they thought it was fireworks stored in there. Which I get the explosion didn't look like that, but I think that's definitely a normal reaction when you literally can see fireworks shooting off inside there.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that is a normal thought to have. And then I don't know if you heard the other conspiracy. I thought that's where you're going to go. Do you hear they shot a missile at it is what really happened?
What?
Yeah, somebody has a negative video, like where they do what do you call it? Like where it's all like blue, like negative footage of it.
Uh-huh.
And you can right before the explosion, you see a giant missile shoot it, and then it blows up. I'll have to show you. You'll probably dive deep into it.
Oh my god. What if it's the aliens, or it's my grandma pissed she still hasn't got her fresh produce? Where the hell where's that shit at?
No, that was one of the crazier things I've ever seen, and I'm not gonna act like I would handle that situation right, and I wouldn't have thought that kind of explosion was coming. But I feel like people need to learn their lesson to know that something went that much fire, something else might happen, instead of being right next to it. And I'm not saying that all those people had the choice, but like the people recording everything that were shocked that it ended up blowing up. I know they were far away, and like I said, I wouldn't know exactly what's going to happen. But I feel like we have so much evidence of when something's on fire that something else bad is going to happen, even if it wasn't a big explosion like that. Because there's so many people that were definitely far enough away that they could have helped themselves out and just kept recording it. And you can see probably people dying while recording these things.
For sure. Somebody, while we were watching the Blue Jackets game, said that somebody was live streaming their death.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, I wouldn't even guess that explosion would happen either, but I feel like we've seen this so many times, or like even 9/11 when you didn't obviously think the building was going to fall, but I feel like there's so much evidence now of something worse can happen. And
get away.
Might not, yeah. But yeah, it was fucking, the explosion was nuts, and then how you could literally see a shock wave. I don't know if you've seen those videos, like people in the ocean recording it, and you can see it explode and the water coming at them because the shock wave hits the water.
Yeah, my dad, who told me the idea that it could have been a Russian bomb that was being stored and probably being sent to Syria, said that like 2 miles away, people's windshield or house glass was blown out. That's bananas.
And I don't know if it's real, and it's pretty fucked up because obviously this is interesting to talk about, but obviously it's fucked up what actually happened, no matter what the case was, because there's a lot of people that didn't have anything to do with it, even no matter what it was. But it's pretty fucking crazy that even with something this messed up, that there's so much fake stuff out there. So I don't know if it's real, but do you see that picture of the before and after of the site?
I did.
Do you think it's real? I mean, it seems believable, but at the same time, like I said, people just like to share. You shouldn't have to question if something like that is real or not, but
the crater is nuts. Because if you look at the Oklahoma City bombings with McVeigh, which they're saying is almost verbatim of what he did is what happened by accident. Granted, it was on a much larger scale. I meant to look and see the difference in weight. Because I think he used racing fuel and literal shit. But the building was still standing. The federal building was still, portion of it was still standing.
And then do you see right next to it how the part of the island literally was just gone and there's just water there?
Holy cow, no.
Like I said, I don't know if it's real and you shouldn't have to question something like that, but we know how much this shit's just made up and people want to get attention, which, like I said, is fucked up with. Even though it's interesting to talk about how serious it is and how many people died and everything.
Even if it wasn't being shipped to Syria, let's say Russia sold them a warhead for nuclear weapons. 'Cause because countries love getting some nuclear weapons. It's a great deterrent. let's say Lebanon was experimenting, trying to build their own nuclear warhead, and the delivery system blew up because clearly that wasn't a nuke. But somebody said it was very similar to a warhead. They could have been trying to build something too. I don't know. Do you remember the Lebanon bombing that killed a bunch of Marines too in the 80s?
Yeah.
Well, we don't remember it, but
Yeah, I was about to say that. Uh-huh.
So there's elements there that could have been working on something else too and accidentally blew it up. Looking at those photos, it makes me really appreciate we do live in the United States, and there's a reason we have safety measures. Because those docks were... If the photos I was seeing was the explosives, it was literally just in barrels, and they were packed so tight in that building that they couldn't even close the door.
Yeah, you should look up the crazy missile thing because you'd probably find it interesting, and also the dock picture from before and after. Like I said, that's literally where the building was at. There's just no land there, and you can just see the water.
Crater.
Oh, so you did see that?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if that's real, but that's fucking nuts.
What's the death count at?
Last I heard was 70, but that was the day it happened, so I'm sure it's way higher than that.
I heard and once again, the hospitals are overrun. I just don't think modern infrastructures are as stable as we think they are.
Yeah.
Because that's their capital. Was it their capital city?
I think so.
Man, that is just weird. I watched these girls like recording it. They went from being like, "Whoa, look at the fire!" Explosion goes off, and they're just like in pure terror and panic and shock. 1 minute they're crying, and then they stop, and they're just staring at it, and they start crying again. And I don't know. Society's not as stable as you think. And when you see stuff like that, or even 9/11, you're like, damn, it really is fragile. It takes one little thing. Once you, like Corona, you saw the store shelves empty. It's like just one little thing. We go back to being tribal and savages.
And what's his name? Your caveman?
What was his name? Ooga Booga?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Then we all want to be Ooga Boogas.
All right, well, I think we probably talked about non-gaming stuff for like a half hour now, so should we get in the show?
Let's do it.
All right. Any corrections, questions, or feedback?
Just the audio is just like a continual thing each week.
Yeah.
That I try to mess around with when I'm over here, but hopefully this will fix it. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to say the new mic, so definitely give us feedback on that, and hope it sounds good. If you have any corrections, questions, or feedback, send to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. You got any news? You said you had none this week, right?
I didn't have any this week. There's news, but I feel like, man, okay, so the rumor. I don't like talking about rumors and news either, but that Xbox Live is free now. Did you hear about this?
Yeah. Microsoft put something out.
Did they?
Yeah.
When did they put it out? Because I was just looking at that.
It was, let's see.
Oh, so you have it as well.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what, just go to your news, and when we get to it, we'll get to it.
All right. So we can start with, I think, the biggest news, especially for us, is the Halo announced that multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 frames per second on Xbox Series X. So I know we talked last week, and I think I misspoke. I think I said 343 confirmed that wouldn't be it, or that free to play wouldn't be in it. I think that was one of the things they didn't comment on, so they didn't lie about it. I think I misspoke. But what do you think about that? Because I have a lot of thoughts.
I think they're just going the Warzone route. I think there's some game mode, not that it has to be Battle Royale or something similar, that's going to be free. But then the main game is going to be connected to it, just like Warzone, just like Call of Duty. And then people want to buy it then. That's my thought process on it.
I hope you're right, because we keep talking here about how much gaming is changing, and it's weird thinking of Game Pass just being the new game. There's not really like, go buy anything anymore. And it's weird, but that made sense, and it made sense why Halo is going to be on there. We already talked about how little copies it would sell being on there, because pretty much anybody that's a huge Halo fan is going to have Game Pass, so who are you going to sell this game to? And they said multiplayer is free, so I know what you're saying, but I feel like they literally is just gonna be multiplayer, and if not, I feel like they're gonna have more backlash because everybody's gonna be like, you said multiplayer is free, and now we don't get this mode, even though they're getting it free, and they go, oh, okay, well we get this free, but people already love to hate on Halo, especially 343. So if they misspoke on that, I feel they're gonna get destroyed for it. And then the point of talking about Game Pass and how um, games just changing, gaming's changing so much, is that it's changing, but that at least made sense to me because you're trying to advertise Game Pass so much. But if it really is all multiplayer free to play, then I really don't know who the hell you're going to sell Halo to, because I love the campaign, and for me, it's actually more important than multiplayer. I play multiplayer more, definitely, but that's because campaign is obviously so much less content and not nearly as replayable by default. Maybe that'll change with Infinite with the way they're talking about it and it being in the name. But I don't know. I feel like multiplayer is definitely a draw for majority of people. So you're already going to lose a lot of sales from it being on Game Pass, because almost anybody that's a big Halo fan is going to have Game Pass. And then majority of people that play Halo play multiplayer. So I don't know how the hell you're going to sell a single copy of this game. And they confirmed to IGN, and I know they said this before, that's why I told you I didn't think there'd be a Battle Royale, even though, like I said, I will say it again, I think Battle Royale is a perfect fit for Halo, and I love it. I know they'd get made fun of so much if they had Battle Royale, because people already trash Battle Royales now, and if you add that into Halo and 343, people are just going to lose their minds. And even though I like Battle Royale, like I said, I really hope they're making the next Battle Royale, like, not necessarily Battle Royale, but in the way that it's a gaming mode that none of us know of yet, and the next thing to kick off. Especially because I feel like Halo needs something like that to get all these people in that don't care about Halo. So if that's true, then I hope that is the free mode you're talking about, but I really think it's going to be all multiplayer the way they worded it, and that 343 even confirmed to IGN, and they said this before, that it's really lame, so get ready. They said that Halo Infinite is the only VR we're interested in is a battle rifle. And I was
I've heard them say
yeah,
that before.
and they said it again 3 days ago to IGN. So still, unless they're just lying about that, but they're going to get even fucking more backlash if that's really in there. But it's just so crazy. Like I said, it's already weird to think about Game Pass and all these platforms being in our games. There's no like really going to buy games anymore. But that I could at least see their business approach on it. But then when it seems like you're giving incentive for people not to buy Game Pass, I don't know what the hell else you're selling anymore.
Especially on your biggest game.
Yeah. And let me get to where you're talking about Xbox Live, because that could be the next thing that I feel like kind of conflicts with everything and makes it more confusing, because Microsoft said to IGN again, there's no changes being made to Xbox Live Gold, and that's in reply to multiplayer being free to play, or multiplayer being free. So unless they're lying about that, then all these reports about multiplayer going free is not true.
There's no real way to test it either.
Yeah.
At least for me, unless I made a new account.
And I feel like that's confusing too, because if all of Halo multiplayer is going to be free, and then that seems like that conflicts with Game Pass, where it would make more sense if multiplayer was free and you're not paying for gold. That'd be like the perfect tie-in. But then if they're not doing multiplayer for free, or all of multiplayer for free, I just don't know. That's so crazy just how much gaming is changing. Even like we talked about with like Halo as a platform and how there's just expansions and everything. Just nothing about gaming is the same. And it's exciting, but it's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Because I feel like on one hand, this is what we always dreamed of. Just like, I'm falling right in the fucking trap, but just infinite games that we always have content, because we would beat a game as kids and be like, oh, that's it? So on one hand, it's cool, but on the other hand, for one, it's terrifying because, like I said, everything's just so overwhelming and so time-consuming. And then on the other hand, we obviously like the excitement of new games and everything. I feel like this kills a lot of that.
Yeah. It would be nice too if it was a hybrid between like Warzone and the way Destiny does things.
Yeah.
I think because if they're truly trying to go that MMO route of one and done,
Yeah.
you get expansions and things change.
So,
But, yeah, so maybe on these games I jump in weekly and do some challenges like you would do with Destiny. Maybe on a week where you're really feeling it, maybe do a raid. I don't know. Play multiplayer here and there.
yeah.
But yeah, that's what it sounds. It's sounding more and more like that. I'm just curious what they do, and I don't get why they're being so secretive. And it takes leaks for them to finally respond to stuff, or like rumor mill going
Yeah.
before they'll respond.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means there's something special planned.
Yeah. Like I said, I normally don't throw rumors in here either. I did a few this week just because I thought they were interesting talking points, or also because we're getting so close to console releases that I think some of these rumors are kind of just unofficial or unconfirmed facts at this point.
Do you think by the end of this month, a lot of these questions will be answered?
For Microsoft, you mean? Or
Yeah.
just,
Well, for both. Pricing, release date, pre-orders, the big things that you're going into before you'd want to know before buying.
I think for Microsoft, there's actually a chance because there's that rumor event in mid-August or whatever for the new console. And like I said, I think besides the fact of competing with Sony for the price, I think that's the biggest thing holding back their announcement of the price is not having the other console revealed.
I think they're just waiting for someone to go first.
Yeah, that's...
Because game companies have no problems. Like, I probably said this before, but Console Wars is a great book. Read it. Sega, the night before announcing a price, realized Nintendo announced an even lower price. So they went back to the drawing board, stayed up all night, changed everything.
Yeah.
So it's nothing for these companies overnight to just switch it. Because pricing seems to really decide a console war.
Yeah.
Nintendo dominated, and not even arguably, like factually, they had usually the weakest consoles. Granted, they had a strong game lineup, but the cheapest prices. If I'm a grandma that doesn't give a RAM and power, like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? This one's $90. I'm not spending $400 on Neo Geo or whatever. So I think pricing has a lot to do with it. I think Xbox is kind of shooting themselves in the foot right now. I kind of saw it kind of my way, just like everybody else. These naming conventions are ridiculous. My mom and stepdad, they have a Xbox One S they're trying to sell. And I was like, well, technically it's 2 behind, but technically it's not behind. But this October there'll be a new one. And I was like, what's this one called? Well, then what's this one? What's that one? And it's like, it's almost like cell phones at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's the route we're going. But I think the naming conventions is really going to hurt Xbox.
Yeah, we saw what happened to Wii and Wii U. Obviously, there's other problems besides that, but I definitely think that hurt it.
Yeah, and the controller, I think, too.
Yeah. So one of the rumors was, I just thought this was really interesting, and I don't think it would make a big difference in the competition between PlayStation Now and Game Pass, but for me, I think it'd be really cool. Do you see the report from PlayStation Ultimate about movie streaming added to PlayStation Network, or to PlayStation Now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's just a report. And like I said, I think for majority of people, they wouldn't care or maybe even notice. But I think that's actually a really cool difference. I don't think Microsoft can really compete with that either, because Sony's already so into the movie industry, and Microsoft has no real attachment to that. I feel like if they input just all the Sony, or not they get all of them, but all the ones that actually have like all the rights to, that alone I think would be a really cool advantage to have on PlayStation Now.
It's a good way to bring in your two businesses together too. I like that.
I'm sure, like I said all at first, but I'm sure a lot of those are tied up to other companies or Netflix or whatever, but all the ones you could get, I think it'd be a really cool difference maker from Game Pass that Microsoft can't compete with.
I'm sure you saw Microsoft too trying to buy up TikTok.
Yeah.
So maybe you get, Xbox Game Pass, you also get TikTok on your Xbox.
I feel like you mean TikTok stays free, or you just
Yeah, it's just on your Xbox now.
so
Whole
I was
time
gonna
you're
say,
playing games, right there.
say if
Got
they tied
little
TikTok
kids
away from that,
dancing.
TikTok would be dead right away because all the people that use TikTok would not be getting Game Pass.
No, no, I'm joking.
I know.
really fucking hope. No, just let TikTok do its own thing over there. Don't try to bring that to Xbox.
I feel like there's something you might actually be more interested in. I never even played the first one aside from the rare question, but the new Battletoads game got a release date of August 20th. And I brought it up because I thought you'd be interested. And also because this is another rare game I fucking completely forgot got announced and was coming out this soon.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I was kind of shocked that they were doing that. But yeah, I played the Battletoads arcade. It was a lot of fun. I used a lot of restarts though. They're hard games,
Yeah.
and I probably wouldn't expect any less from this. If this game came out and was easy, piss a lot of people off, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
sure it's gonna be
definitely.
hard. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Did you see Hot Wheels announced a new line of Mario Kart cars? Or Mario Kart products, I should say.
Some more.
Did they have more? Did they have some already?
Yeah, I went out during the release of the last ones.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying this.
Yeah, they're cool as hell, man. I almost bought them up. Glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're worth money now, but Jesus. But yeah, man, they're really cool sets. They're designed around, from what I could tell, Mario Kart tracks, and they have the Hot Wheel cars that look just like. They're really awesome.
Jinx.
I had 2 complete sets plus the one alternate chase. 2 alternate chase. And I was like, I had them in my hands. Had them in the cart, and I was like, I can't do this. I got to put them all back. But yeah, I just think it runs right in line with the Lego shit. There's a lot of Mario toys out there.
And then next one is kind of a rumor, kind of a confirmation. But ScreenRant.com said that Sony filed a patent for PS5 Pro, which, like I said, that's kind of a rumor, but kind of confirmation because a patent, they did file it, but also patents get filed all the time and not necessarily happen. But I don't know, that worries me even more so that, like we talked about so many times, that these are just going to keep being iterations and just keep going. It might just be, like I said, the safe bet that they don't want somebody else to be able to make a PS5 Pro and wait, what the hell, we're Sony, what are you doing with that? But I feel like there's a good chance that's a strong possibility. And maybe it's not a big deal if they do it like years from now. But this is something they announced in like a year after the PS5's already been out. I feel we're just going deeper down the route of like the new iPhone every year. And
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and I expect both consoles to do that. But yeah, like you said, I just don't want something yearly or even every 2 years.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Especially when, like I said, I'll admit that they've definitely done better than I thought they would at making games work on multiple, not generations, but the same generation on multiple consoles. Like we talked about in our old podcast, how everything Microsoft was saying had to be complete bullshit about how one game will work on the original Xbox One as the same it would on the X, and they'll all run together. Like I said, I can admit they've done a way better job than I thought they would at that. But I feel like we are starting to see how that's falling apart now, especially going into a new generation, and how maybe like some of the games that people are mocking, like Halo and those kind of games, are maybe being held back by having to be on the original Xbox One and Xbox Series X. And I want to just keep getting farther from that by releasing new versions of these consoles every year or two.
At that point, it's just a money grab.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of changes in between them, just like you see with cell phones.
Yeah.
But if you wait 4 or 5 years,
yeah,
and then switch up, it's insane.
Yeah. That's why I said, even though there doesn't really seem to be a reason to buy a Series X, and my favorite game will be playable on what I have, I think it makes sense for me because it's such a massive jump from what I have. And like I said, I think we are definitely seeing a difference in, even though the oldest console can run a game, it can't like really truly run it the way it should. So that's why I feel like doing these iterations are going to become more harmful, especially to keep doing more of them like this.
Yeah.
The next one was, I've never even played this game, but we talk about movie games on here a lot. Do you see Netflix announced Beyond Good and Evil movie? And it's
I did not.
It's the director of Detective Pikachu, which giving me more hope because I fucking love
yeah.
that movie.
Well, Netflix is kind of dominated with any of their video game properties or like the Castlevania. I don't know shit about Castlevania.
Yeah, I'm already saying that.
Yeah, that animated show is amazing. What else video game related have they done?
I think that's where that what was it? There's something we talked about in here recently. I can't remember.
Witcher.
Oh yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
There's something else in there I'm
Yeah.
forgetting too. But they've done so well with that, and I think that's a good place for it. And the fact that the guy worked on the creator of Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, the director of
The
Detective-
director.
Yeah, director.
I think that's in great hands.
Yeah.
So
And I haven't played Beyond Good and Evil, but I know what it's about, and I feel like that could make a really crazy show.
yeah, I bought it right before the craze of video games. Don't get me started on that, dude. I had a sad moment today. But I bought it right before then, so I need to play it. But my sad moment was I was met up with the manager that hooks me up with stuff, and he was just like, bro, not even 5 years ago, I would have stacks of NESs. I'd have stacks of games. He said he couldn't sell NESs for $20. They'd still sit for months with a free game. I don't know what the hell has happened in the last even 2 years. That shit is flying off the shelf. I don't know if it's YouTube, nostalgia, more people with disposable income. What the hell's happening? But that's bumming me out. But yeah, so I picked up Beyond Good and Evil out of fear that's going to shoot up in price, especially if the next one's good, if that ever comes out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If it's anything like Nintendo, if the next one comes out, people are like, whoa, what about the old one? It causes the prices to go up. So I think I have 2 copies of it right now. I think Peter's got 2 copies of it. We both got one, I think, for the Xbox, which is the best version if you want to play the original one. And I think PS2 or the GameCube. I think he's got the GameCube. I got the PS2. And we both have Xbox. But that is like, I know I have a massive backlog, but that's one that's sitting there. And I definitely want to play it before the TV show.
They re-released that on 360, right? Wasn't it an arcade game, I feel like?
Maybe.
I know it got re-released. I can't remember if I'm right about that, though. Like, how it was re-released.
Really?
Because I remember they put out a demo, and I was excited because it was a game I've heard talked about forever, like you have, and it's like a historic game. And I remember not putting it in because I think it was just downloadable. But I was so excited, and I turned it off within 10 minutes, which sounds like I'm not giving a chance. You know how I give games a chance. But there was no way to change to inverted. I couldn't fucking believe it. I don't know if they definitely have patched something like that in. And I'm sure that when that game was made, not many people care about inverted, especially in a game like that. But I literally couldn't play. I played for 10 minutes because I was trying to trick myself into playing default. And I was like, I can't fucking do this. I feel like when you hand somebody who's never played a twin stick game and try and hand it to them, and they're like, wait, what are they doing? Just stare at the floor, stare at the ceiling. I was like, I cannot play this.
Yeah, that would suck. I guess that's a good part about Dumbfault being what uses it, that every game has that.
Yeah, it's the worst at PAX or places like that. Because for one, a lot of those builds aren't finalized, so they don't put inverted in because that's a unnecessary step for a demo of a game. And then even the ones that do have it, a lot of people are so excited, and you're just digging into this menu of the most boring things while everybody's, oh my god, and then you have all these people watching you just looking at a menu.
You probably look like a reporter.
Yeah.
The guy works for the industry. He's getting in deep right now.
And then I always wonder if the developers are like creeping in, because a lot of times people do that to like try and see if they can mess with the code or find like achievement information or whatever. So I don't know if they're like, well, what's this guy doing? And
oh god, he's hacking.
No, I just want to fucking play inverted. The next one was another rumor. It's from Push Square. It said that it's rumored that the PS5 controller, the DualShock 4, DualSense, will have a 3 to 4 hour longer battery life than the DualShock 4.
Nice.
Which, if that's true, that's fucking nuts. I know Push Square is referenced on a lot on Saber Symbols, which we listen to, so I feel like that's a a good source. But
How
that's
long will that battery life last, though?
oh, you mean like in the lifespan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because if that's true, that's fucking crazy. Because the PS4 array, I don't think is too bad, and this shit, as we talked about, has so much more technology in it that I would assume it would actually run worse. I know people that might sound weird to people that a newer version will die faster, but when you have that much more technology in it, I feel like it's very reasonable that it might die faster. But yeah, lifespan, I'm not sure.
I ran into bootleg PS4 controllers. Didn't even know it was a thing.
Oh, really?
Got excited. I went to a pawn shop. He had stacks and stacks of PS4 controllers, brand new in the package, with a lot of rarer colors. And I was like, "Oh, dude, let me grab these. I want to get some of these for $30 a piece for some boxed ones that are like, some of those colorways were like $70, $80." I was like, "Man, why in the hell is this new controller advertising PS TV or Vita TV? Is that what that's called?"
Yeah, I think they changed the PlayStation TV, but yeah, it was Vita TV originally.
What the hell? No, I was like, this ain't right. Because I know Sony buried that shit.
Yeah.
They would not put this on the front cover. I was holding the package, like, man, this blue. It was really... These things I could tell passed off because they flew off the shelves. And if they work, power to you. But that's kind of fucked up. So I was looking at them, and the blue was just slightly off. It felt right, looked right. The blue was slightly off. And I put it down, and I Googled how to tell, and there's tons of YouTube videos.
Really?
And the giveaway is they left that. I don't know if the PS4 controllers initially had that on their packaging, but the Chinese company making them left it on the front. They never changed the packaging over. So they said that's the easiest way to spot it. And I was like, shit. It almost got me. I'm glad I caught it because that should have pissed me off because I don't know if they're the same quality. I highly doubt they're the same quality. But they had some cool colorways. But, so I went back to the pawn shop. There's only 4 left out of his maybe stack of 20, 30, 40. So it's tricking people. So I've never seen knockoff controllers, though.
For PS4, you mean?
For any consoles, really.
Oh, really?
I've seen, like, the third parties that look similar, but they're not really the same. But never seen them branded with the first party. So I would love to get my hands on one of those and compare them. There's tons of YouTube videos doing it, so I almost bought one out of curiosity. Because once we get into pickups, my mom knows the guy real well, and he is clueless on video games. So someone bought those motherfuckers off Wish, brought them into him, and he's like, "I can give you $5, $10 a pop," and then he just resold them for 30 or for 20. So he doesn't know. So I was gonna tell him that they're fake, but I was like, he's got them priced so low. Like, if you want a PS4 controller and you don't give a shit, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not gonna change anything for him. He's just gonna be like, okay, and then just keep him there. So that's mind blowing because I'm like, what's the battery life on them? What's the build qualities? Sorry about the tangent. It just blew my mind. I just never seen that before. I would have been so pissed because he's got signs up everywhere, like no refunds.
Yeah.
With him being my mom's friend, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Him and his wife would be like, "Oh yeah, you're good, man." But they're really nice people, and they're more of a gun shop than video games. But yeah, knockoff PS4 controllers are out there. Be ever vigilant. And if I didn't have knowledge of Sony, you would overlook that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The shade of blue didn't look like Sony, or why the fuck is this brand new controller that came out last year advertising Vita on it? But yeah.
This one, another one from Push Square, another one about the controllers for PS5. It says Sony confirmed that the PS4 controller will not work with PS5 games, but will work with PS4 games. Which, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Most people are pissed on, wait, it doesn't work with PS5 games? I was like, have we ever been through a generation? I know Microsoft went like the extra step and said the Elite Series 2 controller will work with it, but will work with Series X. But I even when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy because that's never happened.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be a new normal. And even if you're trying to compare it to that, I don't feel like that's really a fair comparison when that controller is like $200. I feel like that's why they did it, because it came out so close to the end of the generation to try and get people to buy it and not feel ripped off.
That's a smart way of doing it because the collector in me, or the wanting to preserve things, comes out. And if you want to play those things as natively as possible, you want to use the original controller that the game was designed around. Like Vita games wouldn't probably make too much sense with a PS4 controller, or PSP games, or a PS1 game would be kind of hard to play on the new one.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'm glad
I thought that was cool. This one is from Game Informer. You probably have seen a lot of people complain about this one. That Spider-Man is confirmed to be an exclusive characters in the new Marvel Avengers game to PlayStation.
I did.
Which that's why I say you probably heard of it. There's a ton of fucking uproar. But I think that's kind of cool because we talked about how there's like no more exclusives anymore. I know that's one character and people might feel ripped off, like they have to buy the Sony version. But for one, I feel like that one makes complete sense because Sony, everybody knows Spider-Man is Sony. The Spider-Man game is exclusive to Sony. And I feel like it's kind of cool to have I think it would have been even cooler if each console had its own character, but I feel like people would have bitched even more. So we had to buy all these games to get every character.
Yeah. These are probably also the same people that were like, well, I got Skyrim for the Switch, and I can have Link Shield in it. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Not pissed a bit because why is it not on my Xbox as well?
Yeah. And I feel like maybe that's easier for us to say because we have all the consoles. Because if I was getting this game, I probably would have gotten on Xbox. But now I'm like, I probably would get on PS4. But that's the whole point of it, exclusive, to try and get people like us. But I get that a lot of people that having that reaction probably don't have both systems. But I think that's the whole point. That I don't think everyone should have to own both systems if they don't want to. But if you want everything, that's why you have to have exclusives and the point of it. And like I said, I think Spider-Man makes complete sense to be exclusive to Sony. That just seems kind of natural.
And it's like you said, it's cool. It's like Nintendo does it all the time. Bomberman on Xbox One had Halo or a Master Chief. Like, I think they're just pissed because Spider-Man is not. It's not seen as a Sony thing. It's not a Sony invention.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where they're coming from, and the fact of what game it is, and he should be in there. But it's a competition. They're not there to pat you on the back. They're there to get you to spend money.
Did you see the Monster Energy drinks leaked out with Master Chief on it?
Did we talk about that?
I thought it was Doritos.
Oh,
wasn't
Doritos.
It? So I feel like the fact that some other product leaked out all but confirms it, which is exciting. So they said I feel like even when Gears and these big games release, they kind of just release like any other big game. I feel like Halo used to be like a fucking event where everything was Halo or whatever big game coming out.
Yeah.
So I hope it's like that, especially like I said, since this feels like it's going to be very different because of Game Pass and the potential free multiplayer. So I'm down for any of this kind of stuff that will happen.
I'm debating on whether or not to pick up a physical copy.
Yeah, see, that's how I am. And that's what I'm saying. That right there should tell you who's going to fucking buy this game, because that's a game that I would have pre-ordered the day they announced it. And now, even when they announced it on Game Pass, I was like, well, I'll probably still buy it, but now I'm like, even if I buy it, I'll probably just wait till it's on sale because I fucking have the game, so what's the point of buying it unless there's like some intrigue to buy the physical copy right at launch, but I can't see that aside from maybe like a free skin or something for pre-order.
Or it could be like Fortnite where they just stop printing it.
Yeah.
And then it gets really expensive.
So, there's one more thing about the PS5 controller, kind of going out of order here. This was another thing people were all pissed about, and I was very confused. This is from IGN. It said it's confirmed the PS5 DualSense will have no back buttons. I was like, did people expect this to have back buttons? Did that need to be a story? I feel like, again, that seems like an Elite controller kind of thing. I've never seen a regular controller have that.
Yeah, it seems like Sony's getting a lot of unnecessary shit. That's what I'm seeing with this news.
Yeah.
Stuff that's it's not even like, okay, guys, relax. It's more like, why did you think that was going to happen in the first place?
Yeah.
Imagine being the Sony executives, like, trying to beat damage control. Like, why are they upset about that?
Yeah. And then let's see what else we got here. They you were talking a little bit before the podcast. They announced Pikmin 3 Deluxe for Switch coming out October 30th. I still haven't played Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. That's what came out on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Pikmin, but I never even played the third one. So maybe this will be the time to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely not the time to play the first two. Jesus.
And this one's more specific to me, but Grounded, I've been more interested in and wanting to play it. But I was kind of joking with the spider thing because this game was so kiddish. But the more I watch people play it, the spiders are fucking horrifying. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Like, you can kill a baby spider and you'll turn around and the mom spider will come racing at you.
Holy shit.
And they'll surround you.
Did you see there's no sky limit?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, I actually was getting turned off. I was like, I don't think I can do it. But I read on PCGamer.com that it said there's an arachnophobia safe mode. And it knocks spiders out of it.
That's
it
funny as shit.
It sounds kind of weird because it sounds like all it's doing isn't really hiding their appearance, because it said that you'll still hear the noise and you can still get attacked. But they said it's very obvious, so the game's not broken. They said it's just like glowing light, so you know it's there, and you can kill it, which seems weird, and it would be nice if they could just take it out, but that also does make sense, because that seems like you'd have to fucking overhaul the entire game to remove something like that, so I don't think that's very doable just to...
It might be the main protagonist or something.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, that started out as a joke, but then when I seen this shit, I was like, oh, God, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, somebody was building so high on it that they're above the helms, and, like, they could see beyond the map. It was, like... It was up so high that it was kind of give me some vertigo. But yeah, what pulled me back into this game, man, was the base building. It kind of looks more like Rust or a Minecraft.
That's what I've heard people describe it, which is not a good thing for me, but I still want to give it a chance. I love how different it is, and I don't know if I said it on here, but I feel like I've not a genre of game, but a style of game that's missing is like the ridiculous small soldier kind of games, or like Army Men kind of games.
Army Men was great games.
Yeah, those are fucking awesome. And I feel like there's nothing really like goofy and just fun like that anymore. And this is obviously, like I said, a different genre of game and completely different gameplay, but I think it's cool that there's something kind of like that again. And I would fucking kill for a new Army Man game.
I do like how that versatile the Xbox library is, like, for exclusives, but at the same time I want some of those good single player
I'm with you.
graphic.
That's why I said you talking about Minecraft and Rust. I feel like that is a plus for a lot of people, but for me I was like, oh man, I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I thought this was gonna be like a more of like an adventure story kind of game. Not really that, but I think it could be fun, and it seems like people are having a lot of fun with it, so
yeah, man, I hope there's like a lot of like mechanical things to build and do in there.
Yeah. So the rest of the news I have for this week is a lot of sales numbers that are really interesting, but if you want, we can save that for next week. It's not really depending on when you read it. So that way we can get on to media pickups.
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, I only have one. You saw when you came down here.
Spoilers.
I bought Lavo for Danielle's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the variety kit and the robot backpack thing. I don't know if you saw, GameStop was doing a sale on them. That's why I got them. Yeah, they were $40 and $70, and they were both $20 each.
Wow.
So I got both those for cheaper than you can get one of them.
Dang. That's a good deal.
As you saw, they're still in the box, so we haven't done anything with them yet. But she never asked for them, but she loves craft and making stuff and also likes games. So I was like, I feel like that'd be a perfect thing to do. And also, obviously, gives me an excuse to try it out. I was never that interested in it, but I thought it was cool. I just knew I'd create it and be like, oh, that was cool. And then not play it again and crush all the cardboard. And I was like, I'm not spending $80 to do that for
Yeah.
a night of fun. But
It's surprising how good the build quality is.
oh, you played it?
At DC,
used
when
it,
they first
whatever.
came out, they DC at their local mall had set up a Labo area. Of course, I was the only adult there, and I drugged my girlfriend. It's surprising build quality to the stuff. And I asked the guy there, he's like, man, listen, we brought this shit around the country. Kids stomping on it, and it's still in pretty good shape. I don't know if they were building new ones each time. My issue was there wasn't much game-wise.
Yeah.
It's very gimmicky.
I think the one that seems the most gamey wasn't on sale, unfortunately, is the VR stuff, and I also would love to see. Obviously, can't compare it to PSVR, Oculus, or anything. I'd just love to see Nintendo's take on VR, just like a more fun, kiddish style version of it, but that wasn't one of the ones on sale, so I just had those two. And then I heard they take fucking forever to build, so that's probably why the build quality's good, so I was going to say I'll talk about it next week, but we'll see if we end up building it and playing it or not. But that's it for me this week. What about you?
Yes. Once again, this is nothing I picked up. This is stuff purely people picking up for me. My mom picked me up a silver PSP. For some reason, man, those things are over $100 now on eBay for a U.S. release version. So I said, yeah, go ahead, pick that up for me. And then Peter knew some games that I wanted, but for some reason he double bought. You were here when he gave them to me. I forgot to ask why he double bought some. I needed the box and manual for Zombie U, so he bought me two of those. I think it's because he got one that was in shitty quality, and then found one in much better quality. And like I said, they're I think $2 a piece, $3 a piece.
Yeah.
And then Manhunt 2 on the Wii. I loved the Manhunt games. We were idiots. The Virginia Tech Library, where we grew up, when I first moved there, the Virginia Tech campus is kind of like OSU's campus, where it's open, so we'd go there to play, and we used to play Manhunt in the library on the elevators, and running around and chasing each other, and I fucking love those games. And just so imagine like you're studying for finals, and these like 12-year-olds are chasing each other around this building, and we're like gruesomely killing each other and making disgusting blood noises and being complete idiots. So I'm excited to have that for Wii. I do like picking up non-exclusives for the Wii, just because to get games to work on there, they had to do some weird shit. And it usually changes the games completely. Call of Duty's a great example.
Yeah.
And then on the N64, he double bought me WCW versus NWO World Tour on N64. And WCW NWO Revenge. I loved both of those games as a kid.
Yeah, I played those nonstop.
And I think I already have them. I need to look at my collection. So if I have them, you're more than welcome to have these ones.
Okay.
Jesus, man. I don't know why the graphics look so much better to me when I was a kid. Those are some ugly games.
Oh, yeah. We talked about 64 holds up worse than any fucking generation.
And then I love racing games on N64. I never heard of this one. It's called World Driver Championship. But Cruisin' was my shit on N64. And then at the same pawn shop with the fake PS4 controllers, he had someone turn in a PS1 lot, and it was a good lot, good games. And I probably would have walked out with a bunch, but they were destroyed.
Oh.
Like, just wrecked, man.
Yeah.
Just bad. So I got Fighting Force. I just realized there was a game missing from the set Peter said he got me.
Uh-oh.
Bum, bum, bum. Fighting Force on the PS1. I think it's like a $15 game. It just looks like a ridiculous fighter. But it was made by Core and Eidos, which has made Tomb Raider. And this was in between Tomb Raider 1 and 2, and this came with the Tomb Raider 3. So I was like, I'll try it out. I like their games, but I like fighting games. So yeah, that's all my pickups.
Okay. Not as bad as it has been.
I think the total for that one, that might be $40 right there.
Yeah, that's not bad.
My mom took it up to him. She's like, "Do these PS1 games work?" And he's like, "I'll be honest with you, I don't have a PS1. I bought them from the guy. He doesn't know if they work. I don't know if they work.
She won't help me.
So if you want them, you can have them. So if you want this game, you can have it." So I was like, "Sure." Yeah, I took it.
What have you been playing?
Halo Wars. I played a couple missions of that. It's getting a little bit harder for me to hang in that.
Is it?
I don't know why. It's because I get pretty sucked in. I love the story, and I don't have a lot of alone free time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried playing that game with my girlfriend in the room and my dog in the room, and the dog's coming up wanting to go outside or wanting this, and I keep getting distracted. And girlfriend's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, I'm getting like sassy, like, I'm like, "Listen, they're talking."
There's a Halo war going on.
Yeah, okay, I'm saving the universe right now. So I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. There was another update. It's great update. Another 50 gigabyte update. Each update, granted, they do take some stuff away, and it keeps the game under 200 gigabytes, but it's like, okay, cool, now my Xbox has to sit all day and to download another 50 gigabyte updates because we have a new operator, and you saw him.
Uh-huh.
And they don't add enough to warrant 50 gigabytes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing that a lot, having a lot of fun, getting pissed off. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Just us. I've only been playing 2 games actually.
Really?
And one of them was in Halo Wars. I need to get back to it. We'll see. I said last week. We'll see. But this week I'm going to try and do Halo Wars some more. Maybe Labo and The Last of Us. That's what I'm thinking. I said that last week with the exception of Labo, so we'll see. Because this week...
You're spread over all 3, playing some heavy exclusives there.
Yeah, true. But this week I started playing Master Chief Collection, which I do pretty much every week. But I've been playing with other people, which is always more fun. A little multiplayer, well, a lot of multiplayer and some campaign, and that's my issue. It wasn't that I didn't really play games this week. I just played a shitload of Master Chief Collection and just fell down into it, and it was like the old days and just staying up late. And I never was that into big team battle. I loved it in theory, but almost every time in matchmaking, you just get fucking objective games.
Mm-hmm.
Which objective games are fun in the right situation, like a big system link party or something. I think they're actually more fun than Slayer because you get trash talk everybody and you can teamwork with everybody and you know everybody. But online, nobody really communicates, and I'm not complaining that they don't. I wouldn't really want to do that either. There's a bunch of random people you just want to have fun. So I just think they don't really work that well online. But in the Master Chief Collection, they updated recently. Well, you know it's always been good about selecting exactly what you want. Like you can select which Halo you want and then which game mode, and matchmaking's fucking crazy fast. I know there's ridiculous issues when the game launched, but it's so impressive now what it does. And if you think about how many games are in this collection, how it goes through everything. But there's even more filters now, so you can do a big team battle. And like I said, you can filter every Halo that you want or filter them out. But you can also filter every game mode that you want in and out. So I turned off all the objective games and turned on every Slayer one. And it's just so much fucking fun. It's just 8-on-8 and just these ridiculous battles with vehicles everywhere. And one of the Slayer modes I turned on was random weapons. So you had tanks and hornets and mechs going all around. But then you had people with rockets and Spartan lasers. And it's just so much fucking fun. I feel like I still love Slayer and SWAT, but when those games go right, it actually it feels like a perfect real battle. And then now SWAT and Slayer can like almost feel slow at times.
Slayer.
Because there's only 4 people running around the map trying to find them. And it is fun. It's just different. But big team battle is just so chaotic and so much fun. But yeah, that just sucked up so much fucking time playing that, which isn't a bad thing. I had fun. That's why I did it. But like I said, it's not a job. I'm not like, oh, gotta go back to Halo Wars and Last of Us. I'm like, oh shit, I want to play those too. Halo can't just keep taking everything away. There's just too much fun.
Halo's taken away from Halo.
Yeah. And then the only thing I played besides that was our Madden franchise, not Madden. Madden franchise. We started our off season, went all the way through that. I streamed it, probably the worst stream in the history of streaming. If anybody actually sat through that, that's fucking amazing.
I didn't even see you going live.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, it's on our channel too. I uploaded it because Ryan said he wanted to see it, but it was fucking awful. And then it went into the first week, and I played that, and somehow that was probably more boring than the off season. It was a fucking horrendous first week, and I lost my first game.
Damn.
So franchise starting off good this year. But
Broncos?
yeah. And I just traded for Von Miller,
Oh,
and I gave up almost nothing to get him. He was with the Bills, and I don't know what he's rated in the game, but it has to be high 90s. He's obviously one of the best players in the league. And at our franchise right now, I was like, I'm going to trade for Von Miller. I was like, nobody's going to they're not going to give him to me. And somehow they got him down to an 88. I was like, what are you doing to him? So I saved him from Buffalo and brought him back to the Broncos so he can end his career there. And the first game, he had like 2 sacks and a lot of tackle for losses. I was like, you guys are just fucking with him there. This is true, right? Though, is what Buffalo would do to somebody like Von Miller. What have you been watching?
I have been watching a show that I've talked to you about plenty of times because I knew you'd love it. Is Last Chance U.
Is that? Oh, that's the football one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No, I've heard it.
The JUCO, as they call it, junior college.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. I don't like drama shows. There's very select few I like, and this is perfect, especially like a time without football and possibly going into a very odd season. It is just, I don't know. The way they edit and make stuff is just like, and the way especially they edit games, because most of the games of their games are kept in there. It's just so well done, man.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think building the Browns and this Last Chance U are far superior to, oh God, what is the HBO one?
Oh, Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. I'm not a huge fan of Hard Knocks. But yeah, if you guys watch Hard Knocks, you definitely need to check out Last Chance. I'm sure you guys might have. It's pretty. But Casey, I think you'd like it. I don't think you'd like the coaches though. I think they've had 3 coaches so far, and they're all assholes. They're not nice guys. But I think you kind of have to be in JUCO because these are not.
Yeah.
You're not getting the cream of the crop. You're kind of getting the damaged goods that they need a wake-up call.
No, I hear you.
But it's really good. And I'm actually impressed, man. There hasn't been any guys from Big Ten. I'm like, look at us.
That's
We're
right.
a legit group. And finally, this season, there was somebody from the third season. Finally someone from the Big Ten comes through. And they're from Michigan.
I was going to make a joke, but the joke became true.
It's great. Also, he fumbles the ball all the time. But he's there because Harbaugh wasn't playing him. He was like 3rd or 4th string or something ridiculous, like 6,000th string. And he wanted some play time. He's a really nice kid. But yeah, man, most of them seem to be like from Florida. They're from all over Texas, stuff like that. Spread out more southern teams. Like it's very, very rare. I've never seen a Big Ten guy except for him, and he wasn't there for legal issues. He was there for because he wasn't getting played, and it's just a good show. I think you'd really like it, man.
Okay,
it's good, and I think Danielle would like it too because of the drama.
Girls love drama.
Oh, there's some drama in it. That did not mean to come out rude, but it's essentially it's a reality show. It's just suspenseful. The way I was cheering and like, oh my God, go, 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 it was like I was watching actual football or an actual sporting event. So it's right up your alley, man. I've been watching the shit out of that. I think that's it, man.
That's it?
Last Chance U.
Sounds like a terrible sequel to Zombie U, but they don't specify what it is. This week I've been watching, me and Danielle watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I know you're a big Harry Potter guy.
Huge Harry Potter fan.
That's the first Harry Potter. Harry Potter's classic. It's a great time. Then we watched more of the Pizza Show on YouTube.
Good show.
We finished the first season, which is 6 episodes. And the last episode is actually the episode that you're talking about sending me. It's part of this season where he sits down with all the people and talks and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good episode. And that's also the episode where they showed the portable pizza business. Do you remember that? They have a giant truck that robots make the pizzas, and they can deliver like cook 50 pizzas on the road
I think so.
at a time. Which sounds fucking awesome, but so terrifying if that's the future of the.
There's some vending machine pizzas.
I've heard, yeah. That sounds so cool, but just terrifying to think about a world like that. But it's good stuff. We followed up with Star Wars Monday and watched episode 3. The best Star Wars, some would say.
I would say that, yes.
I would too. People are going to hate me for this, especially how people are with Star Wars. But at the end of episode 3, Yoda tells Obi-Wan, he's talking to him about how they figure out a way to communicate with Qui-Gon Jinn. Do you remember that?
No.
I don't remember that either, and it's been not a long time, but a little bit since I've watched episode 4 or that whole trilogy. I don't remember Qui-Gon Jinn being a thing. Do they reference him and talk about him? So what the hell was that?
In episode 4?
Yeah, or that whole trilogy. I felt like I didn't even know who he was until episode 1, but I don't know.
Maybe, but this might be part of that late 90s George Lucas changing everything.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at the list, but yeah, I don't remember that either.
Okay, I didn't know if I was missing something or if it's like really obvious, like he tossed to him like through the Force or whatever. I was like, I don't.
Did it have the CG Jabba?
In
episode 2? Episode 3? Episode, sorry, Jesus, 4 or 5? Or
we
6.
haven't watched those yet.
You said episode 4, right?
He says at the end of episode 3. We haven't watched 4 yet. I'm saying, do they talk about Qui-Gon Jinn in 4 through 6?
No, I don't think so. That's true.
Yeah, because he says at the end of episode 3, making it seem like he'll go into the next trilogy. But I was like, wait, they don't fucking talk about Qui-Gon Jinn, do they?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I didn't explain
It
it.
stops at Ben
Yeah.
Kenobi.
That's what I thought. And then that's all for me this week, watching wise. The reminder for the free games on Xbox, you got on Xbox One, Dunk Wars till August 15th, Portal Knights till August 31st. On 360, you got MX Unleashed till August 15th. And PlayStation Plus, you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Fall Guys, which I don't know if you downloaded.
Fall Guys, man.
Yeah.
Friend Andrew will not stop. I'm actually going home tonight, digging out my PS4 out of the storage. I got all my video games in one room right now because the basement flooded while I'm working on it. And my girlfriend texts me like, "I'm so sorry." What? The game room. I'm like, oh, no. What happened? My cat had been in there, and I don't know what he's been doing in there, but I'm going to go dig out my PS4 out of that room and see what dumb shit he was doing in there. He loves to chew on boxes. He's already chewed up a Nintendo box. We'll probably kill him. No, I'm just kidding. Fortunately, it's a cheap box, but I'm kind of afraid to go in there and see what he chewed on. But so I'm going to go in there and get the PS4 out. Sorry, Jesus, rambling. Because I have to stay up till 7 or 8, and I'm going to download Fall Guys. And I'm going to play with him because he's been bugging me all week, sending me Snapchats and ridiculous clips he's been saving of it. And it just looks like madness. It looks great.
I was going to say, you need to download it because I want to play it, and it'll definitely be more fun with more people.
That's what he's saying. I was like, man, I think Casey, because I was like, Casey's been telling me about this as well.
Yeah. And I thought the perfect comparison, we always talk about it, and I always kept forgetting these names, but we talk about how it's a battle royale, and it's like Wipeout or Hole in the Wall or something. But today at work, I was talking to somebody that one of the 100 other people knew this game.
Gang Beast?
No. It is weird, like that style, but fucking Doritos Crash Course. I was like,
I never played that, but you told me
oh,
about
really?
that before, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd love that. I was like, I don't know why I never thought about that. Like, maybe because, like I said, almost nobody would get the reference. But people do. I said to a guy at work, "Oh shit, dude, yeah, it's exactly like that." And I was like, "Yeah, and I love that game, and I want to try it, and it's free." So
Yeah, dude, free as shit.
yeah.
So I have a new controller I've been waiting to bust out. It is not a knockoff. And I have a membership that I've been saving, waiting for a good game, good multiplayer game to use it on. So we'll whip it out.
Oh.
Not my penis, my PS4.
Oh, I guess I have been watching a couple other things. I've been watching the Reds when I can, and that's been depressing,
Yeah.
especially because I know they're good enough to be an amazing team, but the bullpen likes to act like they're still part of the minor league that's not playing this year. And the starting pitching is probably the best in the league. And the offense is good enough, but they just are so inconsistent to the point where they're losing to the fucking Indians.
Roll, tribe, roll.
That's offensive. And
Woo-hoo-hoo.
that's highly offensive. And then watched the Jackets the other night go up.
You know what I
1-0.
did today?
What's that?
I was at my mom's house, so I get to go get the Indians box at the
You?
McDonald's. I don't know if Columbus does them or not, but I know that my mom, if you get closer to Cleveland, you can. You know what's in these boxes?
A whole lot of losses and no World Series titles.
Got him. So you get 4 small fries that they fill. It's like 2 large fries when they're done. 2 Big Macs, 2 double cheeseburgers, 10-piece chicken nuggets. So you get 2 Big Macs, 2 double cheeseburgers, 10-piece McNugget, 4 small fries. How much money do you think that is?
$10.
And it comes in a box with the beautiful tribe on it and the sea and Indians logo.
$2.
$12.
Yeah, I think they did that for the Cavaliers one time when we were there, so not as
Yes.
terrible.
They alternate. I was talking to my mom today. I was like, when does it switch to the Cavs? She's like, I don't know. And it felt like last year was like a 6-month split. Browns, which then they also have Browns cups. You get each week is a different player. And then
Different quarterback.
sad but true. In the spring, then is baseball. But then I was thinking during the summer, I'm pretty sure it's the Cavs. But I haven't seen the Cavs box since LeBron left. So they're probably like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Dude. We're not doing that. So, yeah. They're really cool. And then you get a drink. And that's like, me and Renee had a meal off of it. And then whatever's left over, she doesn't like leftovers. So there's like 3 meals out of that. It's insane. You get a sweet Indians box.
So you had the leftovers, kind of like the Browns roster.
No, unfortunately, the Browns roster would be like getting fresh stuff, but then it's still like getting leftovers.
But yeah, I watched the Jackets' first game go up 1-0, a 2-0 shutout. And then I didn't go watch the second one because I was at work, but that seemed like the best one to miss because they lost 3-0 shutout. But then tonight we didn't do our normal loss night. So we watched the Jackets win in overtime, 4-3. First hat trick in franchise history by Pierre-Luc Dubois.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did just because the announcer said it right when it happened. I wouldn't have known that. I mean, I guess I should have known that because I watched every single playoff game because unfortunately hasn't been a ton. That wasn't me bragging. But I've watched all of them, and I know no player's done that, but wouldn't have thought about that fast. But yeah, fucking crazy, especially he got that hat trick, and the third goal was to win it in overtime, which made it so much more crazy.
And they were down by 3.
Yeah. 4 unanswered goals. Fucking amazing game. The saddest part is that would have been a home game technically. And it technically was a home game, they say. But imagine that game at home. It would have been fucking so awesome. And you wouldn't have the normal terrible people that leave because it would have been a playoff game. So they all still would have been there, they're down 3-0. So that's a bummer. But they play again tonight, tonight actually at 7:30. So if they win that, it'll be the end of the series. Hopefully they do. If not, then they still have another chance.
Yep.
Go Jackets.
Go Jackets.
Anything else you got?
Go Jackets.
Okay. I appreciate that. I know we talked last week about doing a top 10 list of our most underrated or underappreciated games. But we're going to delay that till next week. So, because we were still debating on our games. So we'll do that next week. And I think that's it.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Oh, wait. as always, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Current Backlog. And you can,
Send comments, questions, and concerns.
close enough, to currentbackloggers@gmail.com.
You. Don't forget to give fresh produce to your grandma. Look out for aliens.